Today, I want to show off my shiny new foiled Quincy Harker hardcover, and I want to talk to y'all a little bit about how I made it and what I will do with the next editions. And we'll see if we can get Gandalf to hang out for a minute. Hey, buddy. Yeah, he does not enjoy that. Oh, good. His butt didn't turn my microphone off this time. But we'll get a little guest appearance from Gandalf. Hey there. Man, my life is cat hair. Gandalf stares at me from the table saying, yes, your life is blessed with cat hair. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel if it's your first time in my floof-infested life. Oh, that should be the new name of this channel, My Floofy Life. I'm John Hartness. I'm the founder and publisher of Falstaff Books, as well as the author of 42 novels, including The Black Knight Chronicles, Bubba the Monster Hunter, and most relevant to today's conversations, the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series. 2025 is a big year for me. It is the 10th anniversary of the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series. And because I'm, as we've seen, and as I've said many times, I'm a sucker for limited edition hardcovers. I love me some sprayed edges. I love me some foily covers. I love all that. And I love even more that there are new vendors who have come out that have made these tools available to independent presses and self-published authors. So I was really excited when I realized, hey, this is the 10th anniversary of the Harker series. I can make a shiny book that way. And then I was like, how do I make a shiny book? Because I do all of the interior layouts for Falstaff. And I have enough Photoshop capacity to do the typography on a book and manipulate stuff that real artists create to fit a book cover template. I am not a cover artist, but I'll play one on TV. If the check clears, I'll play basically anything on TV. But I started looking around for the best options for printing a special edition book. And can't do it on KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. Amazon doesn't have the capacity for fancy stuff yet. Neither does Ingram Spark. So it kind of leaves you with Lulu or 48-Hour Books or Book Vault. And I asked some friends who had done this, and some of them had places in China and places in Europe. Yes, I know Book Vault is in the UK, which is, well, I guess they left the EU, so I don't know if they call themselves Europe anymore or not. Someone who's British, tell me in the comments whether you think you're European or whether you're just this weird couple of islands hanging out. Anyway, yes, I know Book Vault is European as well. But those were the three that I looked at, were Lulu and 48-Hour Books and Book Vault. Now, Lulu, I tossed basically right away because they're really expensive. The books are good quality. They do a good job printing. They're really expensive. They're like at least half again as much per copy as everybody else. So that went right out the door because I don't want to charge $100 for a 400-page hardcover. I've feel a little bad charging $60 for a 400-page hardcover. That doesn't mean I'm not charging $60 for it. That just means I feel a teeny tiny bit bad about it. Then I looked at 48-Hour Books, and all of their stuff was pretty good. It was pretty equivalent to Book Vault, but there were a couple of options that when I started this process, they didn't have. They may have added them since. They didn't when I made my decision to go with Book Vault. Now, with Book Vault, they have US and UK printing, but the stuff I want can only be done in their UK facilities. That means that I have to ship it across the pond if I want a book with foily covers, with sprayed edges, and the swanky printed end pages, all of which I pretty obviously want. So I'm having this created through Book Vault UK. And I went on their website, and it's fairly easy to go through and figure out all of your options. So I chose that I wanted sprayed edges, I wanted silver foiling on the cover, and I wanted a sewn-in bookmark with, let's see if it'll focus in. Nope. Anyway, there's sewn-in head and tail bands, which are the little stitchy thingies here at the bottom. I also chose to have a printed case laminate cover, which is also foiled. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about what all I had to do to make this happen. First, you have to set up an account with Book Vault, and they do charge, if you have their free account, there is a cost to upload each title. There's a workaround for this if you plan to do multiple titles, which now that I plan to do multiple titles, I am going to utilize this workaround. And I'm not telling you anything special. This is, Book Vault tells you this on their website. They have a free service where you pay money to set up your for each title you set up. Then they have a subscription service, and for $90 a month, you can set up unlimited titles. And they tell you right on their website, look, if you just want to buy a 1-month membership and set up a dozen titles, then cancel the membership, no harm, no foul. We're not going to be grumpy about it, which I think is really cool of them. So I'll probably be doing that some over the holidays, because I do have a lot more of these special editions that I want to create now that I know how to create it. So you go through the process, you select your binding, paperback or hardcover, you select your trim size. I went with a 6x9, which is our traditional publishing size. It's what most hardcovers in the US are printed at. I chose, like I said, a printed case laminate with a dust jacket, and I chose to have foil on both. I chose a matte finish for both, which I'm actually changing in the final product. I'll go through all of the things I'm tweaking as I go. I'm going to have a glossy black dust jacket and a matte black case laminate hardcover. That way, for people who like one thing, they can have it either way. So whenever you're setting up a book cover for anyone, you need to download a template and drop your graphic elements in there. For this, I had 5 different templates because there are 5 different elements that I'm laying out. There are the non-foiled pieces of the case laminate and the non-foiled pieces of the dust jacket. Then there are the foiled elements of the dust jacket and the case laminate. And then there are the edges. All of these are a different template based on your input of how many pages you have and your trim size and all that jazz. So what you do is you set up your template for your case laminate, which I did. And I really like the way this came out. I like the spacing on everything. I like the way the image runs right up to the edge. I like having the non-foil on the back, because this is something that will only be sold on our Shopify or at conventions. I didn't have to have a UPC code. I don't have to have an ISBN for this edition because it's only being distributed through me. I will buy them all. I will sell them all, except for, I don't know, resellers, I guess, eBay. I guess if you want to buy 10 of these and sell them on eBay after I shuffle off this mortal coil, go for it. So when you're laying this out, you don't put the foiled elements on your non-foil layer. You build your foil layer on a transparent background, and it's a separate file. This feels counterintuitive because you would think that you lay all this out in white and then you put foil over it. But because it's two different passes through the printer to stick the foil onto the paper or to print the white stuff onto the paper, there's a potential for it to be a little off, and you could have little non-foily elements showing under the foil. And you don't want that. You want it to look like it's just foil. So you leave off any of the things that are going to be foil. And if you're doing something super elaborate, where maybe like one line on your cover is foil, I wouldn't trust the process enough to do it, because most printers are going to tell you that they allow for about an 1/8 to a 1/16 of an inch of slop of things to shift in printing. And that's really, really visible when you're looking at a book. So I would suggest that you foil a big chunk, or foil it all, or foil nothing. Like here on the spine, I foiled everything but the Falstaff logo. So it was easy for me to separate these things. So then you do the same thing for your dust jacket. I created this as a proof. So I did not move the elements around enough on the template from the case laminate to the dust jacket, which is why there's a little black edge right here. It's also why I ordered a print proof, so I can see that I need to tweak this in the final product. Also, you can see that the text runs way too tight to the cup on the proof. So I'm going to spread that out. I can shift the cup down, I can shift the text up. I move each of those a 1/4 inch. I'll still be well within my safety margins for printing, and it'll look much better. It'll look more like that. But otherwise, I've got no notes for this part. And the whole point of ordering the printed proof, other than for me to have something to knock over in the middle of a video and make a big loud noise, was for me to see what I screwed up. The flame on the edges. Looks cool, right? Except most of the time when I lay the book down, I want to lay it down like this, which means the flames are upside down. Again, something I'm going to tweak in the production version. This is placeholder art. I have a friend who's creating me custom art for the end pages, although this is also really good art that Natanya Barron created for the series. And this bookmark, I wanted to see it in real life, because when I clicked on it on the website, it called this red. It's more maroon. I was thinking red like fire, red like blood. This is more red like watered down Merlot. Which, God, who wants that? That sounds terrible. So I'll be switching over to a black bookmark in the production elements. But they do a really good job with the interior printing. Another thing I'm going to tweak, you can just barely see that there's flames around here, and there's a little pentacle around the numbers. So I'm going to deepen the saturation on this in the production version. These are all notes that I gave myself after I got my print proof. But I really like the way the book feels. I like the way it looks overall once I make the adjustments. I think that my author photo will look better on a glossy paper as well. So I'll probably do gloss. Yeah, so I'm doing gloss on the dust jacket and matte on the case laminate. And then I really liked all the blurbs that I was able to use. But again, I can shift all this down a little. I got a lot of black space here and not enough black space here. So I'm going to shift everything to make that fit a little better. And that's why I ordered a proof. I don't order proofs when I'm doing a regular hardcover or paperback through Amazon and Ingram. 300 plus titles deep. I know what their tolerances are. I know how close I can get to the edge. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. A lot of you have no idea where that came from, but 3 old people who watch this are like, yeah! I don't have to do a proof when I'm working with printers that I've worked with for a decade plus. But this was my first time working with Book Vault, so I wanted to see what the quality was like. I wanted to see what the end product looked like, felt like, what it delivered like. Because we're shipping this stuff across the pond. That's going to take a minute. These bespoke options add time. It took about 3 weeks to get this, which means that I'm going to have to put in my order for these books next week because I want to ship them in December. So I got to put the order in pretty quickly. Now, that also means that you only have a very limited time to click the link in the description so you can order your copy. I had to, right? So that's my Spanky special edition. It's not a limited edition. I plan to keep this in the catalog for quite a while. I plan to make it available forever. But because it has to ship across a great big body of water, when I'm out, it's going to take me a month to get more. So pre-order is your friend, and pre-orders are now live. Or if you know I'm going to be at a convention near you, send me a message, leave a comment, all that. I do try to read all the comments. So I'm very happy currently working with Book Vault. If anything changes, I'll let you know. But until then, that's what I went through and what I'm changing and tweaking on my first foray into special editions. Have you done one? Do you like them? What are the things you like most about a special edition book? Let me know. I'll see if I can incorporate that into more of our product. Till next time, bye.